Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Oh, yes, I have. Oh, yes, I have. Good morning. Welcome to Java with Jan. I'm Jan, your hostess with the mostest, and I am so happy to be back with you this morning. Oh, yes, through it all, it's God's words that brought me through when I didn't even really realize it, but it just kept me going. I want to talk to you about one of my jobs. When I first entered information technologies, I was a computer programmer, systems analyst. I progressed into system analysis and consulting through time. But when I first started, I had a manager. I won't call his name. But for some reason, he and I, it seemed like we couldn't get along. When I would go to talk to him, he would talk to me with an attitude, and it was like we were oil and water. He didn't like me. So I had to realize that he was my manager, and if I wanted to progress in this job, it was incumbent upon me to get along with him, because he held the power of either promoting me or holding me back. But for a long time, I didn't. We just did not get along. Well, one day in reading my Bible in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 44, I saw this verse. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them who curse you, do good to them who hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Well, in my mind, I felt that he was my enemy. I felt that he was despitefully using me, and I didn't like it. But I followed God's word because I was a brand new Christian and I wanted to please God. So I would pray every day for him, especially at night. And I started praying for him to change. But over time, God was changing me. And when I was ready, I went to him and asked to speak to him. And I sat down in his office and I apologized to him. I apologized for disrespecting him as my manager. I let him know that I had been praying for him. God told me to do this. But in the praying for him, God showed me that I was the one that had been wrong. You see, when I would go to him and talk to him, I didn't realize it, but I had this invisible chip on my shoulder. He saw it, but I couldn't. I had a way that I was speaking to him, my tone of voice. He picked it up, but I didn't. I thought I was just being me. But God showed me I was wrong. And so I apologized for having disrespected him and his position, because he was my manager, whether I liked it or not. He was my manager, and he had a right to tell me certain things about doing my job, whether I wanted to hear it or not. Sometimes we have that attitude, but I apologized to him and I asked his forgiveness, which was very humbling, but I had to do it. And in doing so, I broke down and I cried. I didn't want to, but the tears started coming, and it just like broke something in me. And he, watching me, I don't know what he saw, but it tenderized his heart. And I think it helped him realize that I was sincere in what I was saying to him. And he said he forgave me, and that was the beginning of a new relationship between us as manager and subordinate, for the rest of the time that I was in that department. And I must tell you, I got along fabulously with him after that. Anything that I wanted to do, there were certain programs and times when I wanted to go out of state to participate in a program that the company was offering. Well, he had to sign off on that. And so I would go to him and I would let him know, okay, this was my assignment, and I've completed it. This is what I've done. And my plate was clean for a period of time, and I saw this course that I wanted to attend on company time, which would help build me up with respect to me taking advantage of company opportunities, to company courses and things of that nature for my job. And sometimes I would have to be out of town for like 2 or 3 days at company expense, the department's expense. And he had to sign off on that. And he did. He did. He did everything he could. It was like we were best buds. Well, let me just say to you this. What had caused the problem between us, with me approaching him in the beginning, was there was a coworker, and I have to tell you, okay, and that coworker was male, and he had made the statement when my manager became my manager that my manager was racist. That's what he said. And I thought at the time that it didn't matter to me because I didn't know the man. But unbeknownst to me, those words must have clung to me, and was the catalyst, I can say, for how I was approaching my manager. Because I guess my mindset was like, well, he ain't gonna take care, he's not gonna treat me wrong, whatever craziness was going on with me. Unbeknownst to me, the bro, was angry. He was jealous of my manager, because when my manager became a manager of a certain department, wanted that job, and he didn't get it. And so I guess the bitterness, the anger, the hurt, whatever I keep doing this because I need you to understand, was, I guess he made it his job to malign my manager. But in any event, through prayer and everything that I did following God's word, that was broken off of me, and I began to see things for what it was. I say all of this to say we have to be careful who we listen to. We need to check ourselves before we start looking in other people, looking at other people and always believing that it's them. Because in this situation, it was me. It was me that was acting in a manner that I couldn't see, but he saw. And you have to recognize and respect when you work, your supervisor, manager, whatever position they're in, they have a job to do, and you do too. And one day, if you succeed in getting into their position or position similar, you're going to be taking orders or direction from people above you that you have to communicate to the people that you will be supervisor over, and it's not going to always be pleasant. So you need to check yourself. Bottom line. The end of the story is that person, I would love to call his name, but I won't. My manager, we got along famously. And when there was an opportunity for me to move to another division, which was payroll, and it was like a step up, he advocated for me. He spoke up for me and backed me in moving to that position, even though it meant that he would no longer be my manager. He vouched for me, where had I not changed, it would have never happened. And as a result of that, I went on to another department, new responsibilities, and continued to progress in the field that I ultimately retired from. I know it may sound long and drawn out, but I just needed to share with you, especially during these times. There's too much of this blaming somebody else for why we didn't progress. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing it. And God has put in all of us the tools, the wherewithal that we need to have to be successful. The choice is ours. Now you'll have to do your training and your reading, your whatever you need. But he's given all of us that ability to be successful if we want to. It's time to stop blaming other people and check yourself out. I know this has been long and drawn out, and it's been a little difficult for me to communicate it without tearing into anyone and blaming. But I hope that the words that I have spoken mean something, will have touched you in some kind of way. But like I said, through it all, it was Jesus that helped me. It was through his word that I realized that I was wrong. So always check yourself. Start with you first before you start looking at someone else. It's been long, but you know what? I got it out. And I hope for someone it helps. In the meantime, you have a God-blessed day. I love you. Bye.